hit number one here because, oh God, what was that, about 2, 3 weeks ago? I said it's pretty hard for Brock Purdy to be the MVP of the league when he's not the MVP of his own backfield, right? So in terms of most valuable player, is Brock Purdy a really good quarterback? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Is he a top 10 quarterback? Statistically, yes. I don't think so talent-wise. I think if you just lined them all up and said talent, give me the top 10 most talented quarterbacks, he wouldn't be in that. If I said I'm the coach, right? So I don't have Kyle Shanahan's scheme, and I can pick my quarterback. He probably wouldn't be in the top 15 for me in terms of picking my quarterback to start my franchise with, but he's certainly really good in that system. He's very productive. He's the right quarterback for Kyle and for this team. But that does not make him the MVP of the league. And it was like, oh, but he's a Brock Purdy hater. No, to say somebody isn't the MVP of the league is not hating on them. That's saying they're not the best player in the most pinnacle and front-facing league in the world. So, that's not hating on somebody to say they're not the best player in the best league in the world. It's just not hating. That's just the reality situation. And that was exposed on Christmas night when they got trounced by the Ravens. Brock Purdy, of course, throwing 4 interceptions, no touchdowns. What do you have, a 30-something QBR?
33, yes.
That's rough. That's rough. So, right, again, if I said, let's rank the top 5 players on the Niners offense, I would go Christian McCaffrey, I would go Deebo Samuel, I'd go Trent Williams, I'd go George Kittle. Is there an argument Brock Purdy's 5th? I would say, yeah, Brock Purdy's probably 5th. That's on his own offense. On his whole team, Nick Bosa's better. Fred Warner's better. I would take Dre Greenlaw. I think Chase Young's a more talented player, a more impactful player depending on the game. Brock Purdy's a fine quarterback. But I said this 3 weeks ago. In terms of value, right, you take Mahomes away, and they don't even look good with Mahomes, but you take Mahomes away, they're screwed. I mean, they're screwed. You take Josh Allen out of Buffalo, Josh Allen's their leading rusher most of the time. Now that they have James Cook, who's able to run the football consistently, he doesn't have to be, but he's the most talented player on that field every single Sunday, Monday, Thursday night, whatever. Brock Purdy is fine, right? What Cam Newton said it best, he's a game manager. Now, there's nothing wrong with being a game manager, but those guys aren't typically MVPs of the league. Lamar Jackson right now would probably be my vote, or Christian McCaffrey. I'd probably lean McCaffrey. But again, he's a running back, so in terms of value, how much value does he have when compared to a Lamar Jackson? It's a tough argument to have. I've been back and forth, right? So obviously we had the Brock Purdy discussion. I said he wasn't my MVP. He proved that he's not the MVP. If I could cast a vote right now, I'd go Lamar 1, Christian McCaffrey a very close second. I would go Dak 3rd. I'd probably go Tua 4th. I'd probably go Tyreek Hill 4th, Tua 5th. Brock Purdy would be my 6th if I had 6 on the ballot. What would your MVP ballot look like?
I definitely wouldn't have Brock anywhere in the top 5. I would probably... I think Dak would be a little higher up on mine. I'd probably have Dak at 2. I would put C-Mac at... Mine would be Christian McCaffrey, Dak Prescott.
You'd have C-Mac winning it right now. I don't think you're crazy.
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill?
At 3.
Okay.
From there, I guess I could be argued in a couple different directions. I thought it was going to be Jalen for a while, but they've lost too many games now. Jalen Hurts.
They've lost too many games, and he just hasn't looked very good.
No, I haven't been impressed the past couple of weeks. So
now, hear me out.
At least my top 3. That's what my top 3 would be.
Everybody, when the Browns were winning a lot of games, like, oh, Myles Garrett deserves the MVP.
That's ridiculous.
T.J. Watt. If they make it into the playoffs.
And they can...
How is he not?
If they win out and he's instrumental in them winning, in the Steelers winning in Seattle and then going to Baltimore.
Okay, so
if
he leads the league in sacks and they sneak in.
I mean, he has an argument. He has a really strong argument.
Joke of a coaching staff from the top down, head coach all the way down, an absolute laughable little tykes coaching staff.
And
I mean, just a middle school level quarterback play. I mean, yes, Mason Rudolph looked good on, was that Christmas Eve? No. Saturday. Saturday, Christmas Eve. I know he looked good, but just abysmal quarterback play. Najee Harris, who couldn't find a hole. I mean, if it found him.
Yeah. I mean, it's evident how many games he's won for the Steelers too. I mean, you go back through the season, you look at some of these games where he had the pivotal sack or the strip sack or some sort of interception that turned the tides where we got a defensive touchdown. I mean, he's done so much. Honestly, I don't think either of the two, Myles Garrett or TJ Watt, should win the MVP.
No, I
they
agree.
should not. But if Myles Garrett is in the discussion, TJ Watt better
should be
right up
ahead
there.
of him.
Yeah.
In the discussion. Well, he's got to be Defensive Player of the Year.
TJ
does. He has to be.
I mean, nobody else is really threatening like they were last year. Like last year, Micah Parsons was making a really strong argument.
So
this year, he's
fallen off just a hair. But this is now 2 seasons in a row where he started fast and fallen off late.
Yeah,
but I mean, he could be getting used to the NFL workload. So let's cast our ballots right now. Your favorite and your pick for MVP. I would go Christian McCaffrey.
I'm going Christian McCaffrey.
Okay.
It's Christian McCaffrey.
And now, if you had to go with a dark horse pick, I'll go with. Actually, go ahead. Unless you don't have one.
I mean, it's not really dark horse, but it's just like somebody that could.
Someone that's longer odds. Probably not in the top 5 in odds right now.
Go ahead.
I don't know. Jake Browning? No, I'm kidding. Gardner Minshew? No.
I'm thinking.
I'll go Tyreek Hill. I think he's like 6th right now in odds in Vegas. I would go Tyreek. I think he would be my dark horse pick. I know it's not a super flashy dark horse pick, but maybe Dak, but I think he's 5th. So somewhere around there.
Yeah. Either way, it will be interesting to see how that all shakes out. Let's go and move into hits and misses now, where we go over where we were right and wrong last week.